Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we disclose which new Kentucky distillery we are most enthused about.
It does say disclose. It's supposed to be discussed.
Where's Katie?
God forbid we do any sort of correcting there. It's because
the disclaimers we got to read.
It's disclosed. It's got to be, folks. We're going to disclose what.
I know. Well, I know you're not going to edit this out, but I'm going to start over. Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss which new Kentucky distillery we are most enthused about. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Poole, Darren McRoy, and Tim Swyat.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
What's happening?
Hey-oh, so yes, we're going to have a fun show today. We're going to be talking about all of the new distilleries that are coming to Kentucky. I put together a list. I'm pretty proud of this because I did all the work. It's out there on the internet. You just got to know where to look. And you also have to remember, it's not easy to find some of these because they were talked about a while ago, but I've been in this game a little bit and I was able to remember all the ones I know. There may be other ones out there too, but I got a pretty good list here. So we'll talk about which one. We'll reveal the list and then we'll talk about which one we're most excited about on an individual basis. So it should be fun. Before we get to all of that, Darren said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Darren?
So earlier this week, Steve posted an article on Facebook saying that Missouri was the number 2 in Google searches and consumption for bourbon or something, some combination.
Yeah,
of those
it's a
things.
combination. Yeah. So they look at those two parameters and then they comprise the list per capita, by the way. So obviously when you're talking New York or California, you almost can't even have a list. There's so many people that they're going to time. So this was per capita.
So my question is, what is something that your state that you live in Googles more than anyone else should in their life?
Do we have to Google it and find out now?
I don't know.
I wasn't going to go that far. I was just trying to think of what silly things do people do from different states.
Okay. It's a good question. Let me think about it.
You're going to need some thinking time. And I don't really have an answer yet. I should have probably thought ahead, but.
Right. You're the guy who comes
Sometimes I come up with small talks and I don't have an answer, but I just bullshit my way through the whole thing.
Yeah, Darren,
usually
he's still
Steve
learning.
calls me out on it too.
He's still learning. I mean,
he's figuring it out.
I would say Missouri is number 1. How do you make a gooey butter cake? I would say that because you get it from the local bakery, the confectionery. You want to make it yourself at some point. So I'm sure Missouri is number 1 for that. I would guess.
Ooh.
Yes, Kathy.
So being in Illinois, I got to split this up because we have Chicago and you have Illinois.
Right.
So in Chicago, we use lawn chairs to block off our parking spots in the winter to make sure nobody takes it.
Okay.
We'll put out lawn chairs and block our parking spots to make sure that's like, if you move that lawn chair, that's like go time.
Yeah.
And I would say the rest of the state, we treat our lakes like they're oceans. We forget about that. We actually have a huge lake right next to the whole side of the state up here in Chicago and all the other lakes, but we treat them like they're oceans for some reason.
It acts like an ocean.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It does act like an ocean, kind of. Yeah. You go see a picture of that, and with sand in the front, then you're thinking, oh, they're at the ocean. No, they're not. They're at the lake. Yeah.
I'll give you one last one. We always fight to say our pizza's the best. deep dish
God, no,
pizza.
it's
It's
not.
still a
It's
Chicago
terrible. I
thing.
love
It's
it.
terrible.
It's not. It's
Love
cheese
it.
the worst.
pie. I'll be the first one to admit it.
I
But I
love
would
that
put our
cheese
thin crust
pie.
pizza against St. Louis pizza all day long.
No, hell no. No.
Yes, you should.
Well, we'd whip you. No problem. No problem.
All right, I'm bringing a thin crust pizza down next time to the ABV
Okay.
Barrel
Oh,
Shop. And we can all
So
enjoy it.
Indiana has Pizza King pizza, which is thin crust, and it's really one of the best pizzas ever. We should have a pizza off. I'll bring it.
Pizza King.
Pizza King is fantastic.
Aren't there only like half the Pizza Kings in Indiana that are good because they had like a split in
Yes,
family
okay.
or something?
There were
And
two brothers. And one
yeah,
had
my
the
friend in Indiana said, because I went to one that was bad. They're like, oh, it's
You
not,
went to
that's
the
the wrong one.
brother. So I'm lucky
Right.
enough that I was born and raised where the good brother lived, and I got good Pizza King. It's shit on the west side of the state, which is probably
Yeah, that's what
Dropping
she said.
hammers
too.
on
She
Pizza
says
King.
the same thing. She's like, half of it's just garbage.
it's true.
Okay, well, how do I know? I'm just a consumer. I'm like, oh, here's the one she's been talking about forever. I'm going there. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's like a small little section. It's like almost like a half moon section of the state where we're like, okay, those are the good Pizza Kings. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she talks
Well,
about
I
pizza
did the
all time.
research.
Okay.
Okay.
The most searched thing in Missouri, meth recipe.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
You know what? That checks
Does
out.
make sense.
It makes sense. I feel like Indiana could fight you for that
That
too.
seems like it's
Indiana knows happening.
it does seem
That
like
was from August of 2020.
that just seems
So
like
think
it.
about what was going on in August of 2020.
Yeah, COVID.
COVID. The first article that came up was from 2015, and Missourians were looking for the right to keep and bear arms and something about an Amy Schumer photo.
And Amy
But that was
Schumer.
2015, so who cares?
Amy Schumer.
So I misread the assignments, and I gave some things here. Let me step in this one because the most Google searched thing in Illinois is McNew's 4th of July photo. I kid you not. It's McNew's
That's
4th
all
of July
from you.
photo, which you broke the internet.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
just follow me
That's
on
all of
Instagram-
Tim Squiett's Google searches,
Yes.
right?
It's just Tim's
Tim's
Google
none of
searches.
Your
but yeah.
bookmark,
Yeah.
like,
It's
it
me and
loads
Jeff from
automatically,
Iowa.
So.
Yeah. Jeff from Iowa. Till he got banned. Yeah.
Yeah, poor Jeff.
He got banned because McNew was too sexy. His wife told him.
Yes.
Yes. You can't be friends with someone who's that sexy.
Bizarre.
so.
Bizarre.
That's a good, healthy relationship and
Yeah.
self-esteem right there.
I literally took that photo on my lunch break because I was I still work.
On a lunch break.
It was on my lunch break. I was like, I need a 4th of
That was
July
your work outfit for the day?
No, so I just threw it on real quick, snapped a photo, and then put normal clothes back on afterwards.
So your
This is when you were working from home, right?
Yeah, I still do, but
Yeah. So any coworkers who follow you are like, oh, she's having a fun lunch
I
break.
don't let coworkers follow my Instagram.
What if they have fake accounts?
No, because I am
Yeah.
so my account's private for other reasons, but I'm very particular now about like who else are you following? If they're not following other bourbon people, I don't let them follow me if I don't
Okay.
already know them.
Okay. All right. No way to break that code. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, we've all
If you want to follow me, I'm looking for all followers,
Okay. There you go.
creepy or otherwise. I find it entertaining.
All of them.
Matter.
It's about numbers.
I really didn't give a shit about work, but like my husband's baby's mom is nosy and problematic. So I would block her and she'd make a new account or then stalk me from her sister's account. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to make it private because I can't win. So I just, yeah.
There is something to say. There was a McNew event she had in 2021 with a celebrity brand, and I got to tell you, the amount of creep factor that came out of that with people out of the woodworks was crazy. Remember the Brothers Bond event?
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, my God.
Coattailing off of that was insane.
And it was all women. So the women were creepier than men for once. And I was
Yeah.
like, these
Yeah.
ladies
Women.
are-
Well, you know, women are growing in bourbon.
Yeah.
I-
So there you go.
They were all like, I see that Ian follows you. Can you connect me? I'm like, what? What
yeah.
is, I got like 50 messages like in an hour. And I'm like, what the fuck
You
is
connect
this?
me.
And
That's what they wanted. They wanted the in with Ian.
Yeah.
well, that's exactly what it was. And they were so weird about it. It was like the most desperate messages I've ever read. It was, bleh.
Yeah. Yes, it was bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Darren, you came up with this crazy topic. What do you got? What do you think deserves known for Googling?
Top 10 worst drivers, like by state. Like, what is the top 10 worst drivers by state? Because I think every Missourian, after they get off the highway, goes home and Googles where they are in the state because no one knows how to drive.
Well, are you
Yeah,
sure those aren't Illinois plates that are?
Not
that
Those are Illinois plates for sure.
Yeah. That's what I always see.
don't
I
know
mean, I
about
live
that.
right across the river, and I tell you what, if someone pisses you off, they're driving wrong, you look at the plate, I'll be goddamn if it's not Illinois. Every time. Stump tells me it's the same thing.
It's Missouri.
Him in Southern Illinois. He's like, oh, it's all Missouri drivers over here.
Yeah. So we say that about Ohio drivers. If somebody is like messing up traffic on 465, we're like, fucking Ohio drivers. They will all-
Fucking Ohio.
every time.
That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start this time with McNew.
I have some Rebel bourbon. That didn't do
Nothing.
shit.
It
Terrible.
sounded like just the foil came off. That was actually the cork coming out.
I feel like
It
you
sounded
should
like a Tim Swyatt cork pop.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's embarrassing, McNew.
embarrassing, really.
Mer-
All right.
Mercury must be in Gatorade. That's why.
It is.
Mercury's in
Until
Gatorade.
May,
Mercury, that it's going to be in Gatorade until like mid-May.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Oh.
We're in trouble. We're in
Lock up your
trouble.
daughters
It's
and your
not coming
wives.
until late May. She has to wait for Mercury to get out of the Gatorade
Yeah.
before she
yeah.
can come to St. Louis.
Oh my God.
There's no
Oh my God.
travel.
Can't do it.
I can always fake my way through a
During
McNew
Mercury
presentation.
and Gatorade.
Oh my God. Hello, everyone. Go
Now
ahead,
she's
Kathy.
getting- what is she, high?
No, that's just the way she talks. Don't make fun of her. That's ridiculous. Don't make fun of McNew.
Steve thinks I sound like a Valley girl, and I've never been to California in my life. So
Well, I don't know where you picked up the speaking style. Just maybe TV, I guess.
But your lunar lines do show you should be in the West Coast if my memory
I
serves
should
me
be
right.
on the West Coast. I should be in freaking Arizona. Actually, they're closer to Denver, but Phoenix works too. It's close enough. So I'm going to make that work.
Mhm. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway.
All right. Kathy, how about you?
Okay. I am going to open up this Jefferson's.
Oh, Jefferson's.
Ooh, that was good.
That was really
Oh.
good. Look at Kathy. Look at the confidence.
Grinning ear to ear.
Oh yeah. Shit eating grin.
Yep.
I've got Yellowstone. This is a barrel pick from the ABV Barrel Shop. This is the challenge. The challenge. All right, here we go. Ooh, that was really
That's
good too.
but not good enough.
It was right
Yeah.
nose to nose.
It sounded like second place, but it was very good. It was. Don't
It's a
downplay that
solid
one.
entry.
That was good. That was impressive, but
You
not
should have
good
saved
enough.
that bottle.
I should have, and I'm pissed at myself. All right, Darren, you're next.
Second place isn't locked down for you yet. There could be noise that actually comes out of one of my bottles for once. Probably
Okay.
not. But, I can drink. This is a pick from the ABV Barrel Shop, Hidden Barn. So,
Okay, no, nothing there. Nothing there.
silent.
McNew has the lead. Tim, what do you got?
Kathy
Oh, I'm
has
sorry.
worse.
I'm sorry. Kathy has the lead.
Darren and I tied for the worst. There was
Oh.
nothing coming out of this.
This is true. Jeez, Kathy was about ready to kill me there.
She's
Huh?
she's about ready to go Katie on you.
Oh yeah, she was getting ready to jump in the car,
You
put on
almost
an
accused her
astronaut
there was,
diaper, astronaut diaper, jump in the car, and come down and beat my fucking ass.
I don't think you live that far away. Although I am getting older.
Yeah.
Almost like you accused her that's saying that combat juggling is like rugby.
Hey now.
I mean,
Don't do that.
That's fight
That's what I'm
word.
saying.
It's,
I feel like she's coming after me.
are you challenging me?
You're challenging me.
Oh, all right, Tim.
All
You're
right.
last but not least. Maybe you'll come through. Maybe you'll win this.
Yeah,
thing.
we'll see. Because I
Kathy's got
on
the
a
lead.
prior show, it was a Bottled and Bond announcing the ABV Barrel Shop being Bottled and Bond certified by Bernie Lubbers. And I actually had a Bottled and Bond whiskey here, and I forgot about it. It's Leopold 3-Chamber Rye.
Oh man. Oh,
Did anyone hear anything?
Slosh.
you know what? I heard the slosh
Right.
afterwards.
Yes.
That's all I heard. Some slosh. That's
So
it.
we got that going for me, which is nice.
Yeah.
I'm
So
jealous.
Kathy,
I wish
you
I were
win.
drinking that.
Me too. Tim, save that for me. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
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 All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Kentucky distilleries that are coming soon and which one we are most enthused about. We'll get to that in just a few. Let's let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Richard Paul from Art of the Spirits. Welcome to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about new Kentucky distilleries and which one we are most excited about.
Yes, we are. Now, you know, these things, sometimes they get announced and they never happen or stuff like that. So I'm going to throw out the ones that I know about that I haven't seen any officially calling them off. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not done. Not time to stick a fork in them, but I haven't heard anything. So in my highly likely list, I've got Blue Run, that $50 million distillery in Georgetown, Kentucky. Jefferson's, a $250 million distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky. That's amazing. Western
money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Western Kentucky Distilling, a $30 million distillery in Beaver Dam, Kentucky. So that is Jacob Call, the former master distiller. He is now, his family has its own place. They're making Hemingway rye already. So that's out there.
That was a great bourbon show interview,
Yeah,
by the
it
way.
was.
Everybody's missed that. That was spectacular.
That was fun. That was fun.
It's well worth the investment.
That's yep. You got a brother, two brothers, and a father working there, and it sounds just like it's going to be an awesome time. I'm sure it's just ball busting all day with those three. Yeah.
Father just raining
Oh,
blows
he was
upon
my
the
favorite.
kids, just
Oh yeah.
smacking them around. I love it.
Yeah.
Fresh Bourbon Distilling Company in Lexington, Kentucky. So that's the African American owned facility. That's it looks like it's getting close, so that's cool. Then you've got Willett. They are opening up a $93 million distillery in Springfield, Kentucky. So that's going to turn them from being a little craft heritage brand into a big time player. Then you got Jane Bowie and Denny Potter. They're building a yet unnamed distillery also in Springfield, Kentucky. So all of a sudden that place is going to be on the map. You get two distilleries like that. Bob Dylan acquired a majority stake in 6 Mile Creek, which is up near Royce. Pleasureville, Kentucky is up near him. So that Heaven's Door brand is now going to be a Kentucky bourbon, and they're going to expand that place a little bit and get it up to where it's making 50,000 barrels a year. So it's going to be a big time player for sure. Heaven Hill is building a $135 million distillery in Bardstown. You think, well, they're already distilling in Bardstown. No, they're not. They have their distillery visitors center in Bardstown, but they haven't been distilling there since they had the big fire. Then you got Bluegrass Distillers opening an $8 million distillery in Midway, Kentucky. Just broke ground on that one. Things that I think will probably happen. IJW, a $200 million distillery in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Horse Soldier, another $200 million thrown in Somerset, Kentucky. And then RD1 is supposedly building a distillery in Western Kentucky. Long shots, Kentucky Owl in Bardstown. Started several years ago, then kind of died off. Haven't really seen anything happen. And then last fall, someone was like, yeah, we're still going to do something. It's going to be a little different than you saw. But we're still doing so. Are they or not? I don't know.
That's Stoli, right? Didn't Stoli buy them?
Correct.
They're owned by Stoli?
Stoli bought them. Yep.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And then you got two that were announced both in 2020, and nothing has happened since then. So that I know of. Again, it takes a while to build distilleries. So we're not going to see the Jane Bowie and Denny Potter until 2025. So that means they'll have been away almost 3 years when they open their distillery. So Claremont Distilling announced in 2020 they're building a $13 million phase one of a distillery in Claremont, Kentucky. And then Old Samuel's Distillery announced in 2020 they were going to be opening up a $16 million distillery in Deatsville, Kentucky. Those
that are on your list.
List
were announced in 2020, which we all know was a shit year.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're also like, of the dollars that we're talking about, these dollars up here are huge.
Huge.
Yes. 250 million, 93 million, 135 million. It almost makes those guys with their 13 and 16 million dollars look like chump change.
Sit down, Junior. Yeah.
Right. But it just depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to build a distillery that ultimately is going to be have distribution across the country, $50 million is probably where it's at these days, I would guess. If you're trying to build a distillery that services a local community, we saw one up there for $8 million, somewhere between 8 and 16 million. You can probably do something pretty cool that, again, not thinking from day one, you're going to take over the world, but you could still, 16 million will get you pretty far in this business. That's for sure. So I want to talk to each of you individually. Which is the distillery that you are most excited about on this list? McNew looks confident, so I'm going to go to her first. Out of these, again, which one are you? And it can even be off the list if that's what you want to go. We're not betting horses where you're putting any money down. You're just saying which one you'd be most excited for. So it could even be if it's a long shot here.
So it got some hate because people thought it was like maybe too touristy, too modern. I cannot wait to go visit Blue Run. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks mid-century modern. I don't even care what bourbon they're making. I just want to go see that building for the architecture. I mean, I care about the bourbon too, but I freaking can't wait for Blue Run.
Blue Run is on the board. All right. Kathy's got her hand up. What do you want, Kathy?
I want to jump in and snatch up the Jane Bowie Denny Potter development
one.
Yes. Yeah. The unnamed distillery. Just talk to them. They are going to be coming up. They will come out May 15th, I believe. Just talk to them. We got a great update. So still no name to the distillery, by the way. So yeah, it's still unnamed. So kind of fun. So, okay. All right. There's another one. Darren, you look at this list. What do you think? What one are you most excited about?
So first off, before I even say that, if anyone wants to start a construction company in Kentucky with me, we can work out some stuff because I feel like there's a lot of money flowing that way. Anyway, Blue Run.
Blue Run.
I want to be original and not like McNew and
Okay.
I will go with the Western Kentucky Distilling Company.
Okay.
Especially
Those
after the
guys are
interview on
awesome.
the podcast. They were so cool. I was like, okay.
The Call family.
You guys
Yeah, don't you just want good things for them?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. We've had all different ones so far. Tim, you going to continue that trend, or you're going to just go the weak route and go same as someone else?
I'm gonna fall down easy. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go with that RD1 spirits. I like what Barry did with William Tarr and sourcing and doing his thing. interested to see what they do. I think Western Kentucky is going to become a very interesting place. If you look at all here,
it's getting there.
Where these locations are at.
Yeah.
You know, anything to bring some more traffic through to MB Roland and all that stuff that's been there forever. And it's Owensboro, all that stuff out the Western Kentucky area, I think is going to be very interesting to see.
Okay.
Isn't Bluegrass Distillers out west?
Bluegrass?
They're by Lexington,
Are they out west?
south of Lexington.
Yeah, they're like Lexington.
No, they're like,
okay.
Yeah.
So I know like Casey Jones and NB Roland are the only two that like pop off the top of my head for Western Kentucky, right?
Yeah. Well, there's some other ones that way too. That Jackson Purchase, which again flies under the radar, but that's Western Kentucky. So
they're all under the radar right now. So it'll be cool to see Western Kentucky get more tourism. And Barry's so good at advertising and promoting things.
Right.
I think RD1's going to be great out there.
I think so too. Yeah, and he'll just be everywhere. Barry's doing something every night.
He is. Why does he even have a home? I don't think he's ever there. He's
right.
Him and his wife are always smiling ear to ear, right next to each other, and all this stuff. It's just so fun to watch him. It's like, wow.
It is.
I want to be Barry one of these days.
Yeah, there you go.
And he shows up at our events too.
Yeah.
He shows up at some of the events, like some of Wes's events. All of a sudden, Barry's in there.
Yeah, there's Barry. Yeah, there's Barry.
What's going on?
Yeah, probably the second best beard in bourbon after me. So
it's second best. It is second best.
Second best. Then Demetrius Kane after that. So that's where we're sitting right now. That's where we're sitting right now.
Oh, Darren, you have so far to go.
I don't think I want to be a part of that list if Demetrius is third. So I'm just going to.
He has a man crush on Demetrius, so it's a whole thing that we got going on there.
Who doesn't have a crush on Demetrius?
I was going to say,
Just makes the best whiskey in Missouri.
Yeah,
that's exactly why I have a crush on
Yes. I always like when Demetrius is doing a class. There's Kathy, front row, all made up and all this, strolling in.
That's right.
Sweet as pie on those days. No lashing out. No lashing out at me or for anything or anything. No, just as nice as can be.
Why would I ever lash out at you?
Oh, you do. You do. Oh,
well, you probably have it coming. Are we going to go around and do a second round of distilleries?
Oh, I haven't done mine yet, so I still have to do one. Mine, I'm going to continue with the theme. I don't know if it would have been my first choice, but I think the idea of picking different ones is a good one. And I'm going to go with Bob Dylan. I think that is exciting. That was going to be one of these Taj Mahal distilleries. This guy he and Royce started at the same time, and they went to some events together and stuff like that. And then this guy never gets going, but he's building this big, grandiose thing. He is actually on the Bourbon Show. So he's on there talking about this unbelievable distillery. And by the way, probably 5 years ago, they're already laying stuff down. And they have Ken Pierce, the retired master distiller from 1792, who would be a Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Famer had he not worked for a Sazerac company, which is not part of the KDA, keeps him out of it. But he's been laying down stuff for 5 years there. So when Bob Dylan takes this over, and supposedly this is opening in the fall. So when it opens its doors this September or October, whenever it is, they'll have 5-year-old whiskey that was made there, by the way. That's going to be their distillate. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty darn cool.
Do it the right way. It's kind of the opposite of Monk's Road, where down in Gethsemane, Logstill. What Logstill's been doing, they got the whole visitor center and everything up and running first in the amphitheater, and they're working on the still. They got the still running. They're laying their own stuff down. This seems like, 6 Miles got it right.
Yeah,
plug into something. And
it's
trying to get that Kentucky
situation.
Bourbon.
It's an unfortunate situation for the owner, but that's what happens. You end up building this Taj Mahal, and it's great as long as you don't get in over your head. You get in over your head. I guarantee you, Dylan was able to pick that up for a song. Yeah, for a song. Look at that. I'm like Kyle Neely here or something. Hi
guys, Kyle's here.
It's almost like he picked it up for a song.
Any press is good press.
So what I like about Dylan is he is hands-on. I mean, he's not making the whiskey, but he is involved in this company, which I think is pretty cool. Not necessarily all celebrity brands are that way. He does get very involved in they do the yearly release, which features a cool bottle with one of his paintings on it. I don't know. I do like the brand. I do feel like the whiskey needed some attention. I feel like this could be a very good move. Coming to Kentucky, making Kentucky bourbon. is going to be a very cool thing. And they're also building a tasting room somewhere. And they were, if you saw, they were going to be building a distillery in Nashville in an old church. They're keeping that too for like events and stuff like that to raise money for charity. So it's great when you're Bob Dylan. You got all the money in the world.
Yeah,
We already started
You
this
got Dylan
distillery.
money.
Fuck it. It's going to be our event center where we raise money for charity. I mean, that's pretty cool. Dylan's got a few bucks. I
Bob Dylan back on the Bourbon Show to interview all about the updates.
Yes, I'd like to have Bob Dylan on for sure. But yeah.
You know, if I work on my impressions long enough, maybe I could do that
Okay. We'll yeah.
as Bob Dylan.
All right. Let's hear an early version. I know it has to be.
I can't even do it.
This is early on, but let's hear what you got so we know when we hear the show. How
Because that's what he sounds like when he sings.
Heaven's door.
Okay. All right. So what if he says, I want to sell barrel strength bourbon?
I want to sell beer strength.
Nailed it.
Thanks.
That's him.
I've been working on it.
Yeah. So there you
I'm
go.
Dylan. Welcome to the Bourbon Daily.
Yeah.
Where can we find you, Bob?
Thanks for having me on the Bourbon Daily.
I saw Bob Dylan probably 6 years ago or something like that. It was interesting because the guy's a legend. That's why I wanted to see him. I do like his music, but I'm not in love with it. I just think that, and there's some songs that are really good, and then there's a lot of it that I don't necessarily like. But I thought, he's one of the greatest of all time. So I go to see him. It was weird because the stage was dark. They had like the minimal lighting on each of the guys as they could, and then he never said a word the whole time. Just played the music, and then when the show was over, just walks off, and that's it.
He wasn't like, "Hey, how's St. Louis?"
Right? Yeah. Don't worry about saying the wrong thing because he didn't say a word. Yeah,
he walks out, starts playing. He's like, "I'm doing my job and nothing else."
Yeah.
He was just a robot.
Yeah.
I had no shits to give.
Right. You're right, though. They could be one of those Disney animatronic things where it just. If I would have looked on the schedule, it would have seen he was touring in like 8 cities in one night. It's all Disney.
It's like the Chuck E. Cheese version.
Yes, yeah, that's what I saw actually. So yeah, so good stuff.
So do we get to go around and talk about more, or are we just talking about our only favorite?
We're just talking about that's our show. That's the show. We're going to give Kathy. You can have a bonus.
Kathy,
I just want to give a shout out to our friend Tony, who has been a friend of the network and IJW.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited about that
$200 million distillery.
I'm excited about that one for several reasons. Number one, they also been laying down whiskey. They'll have plenty when they open up, and it's this well-funded distillery. And also, I mean, with our connections with Tony, basically feel like we can just walk in there and just do whatever we want. We'll just be running the place, running around, pulling levers on stills and stuff like that. They'll be like, "Oh, leave them alone. They're friends of Tony's. Just let them go." So yeah, it'll be fun. That'll be good. Good time. So
sounds like a place KK needs to do a pop in.
Yeah, KK.
Yes, Poppin'. It does.
How is KK Poppins coming along? Let's have an update on that while we're talking.
So here's the problem. I have a job.
Yes, so does everyone else that works for Bourbon Zeppelin.
I know. And mine requires like travel and organization. And I want the first one to go well so that it sets the tone for all the other distillers to follow through. Am I overthinking it? I don't know.
I want it just to be what it is, organically. If it's a shit show, I want to see a shit show in the hallowed ground that is Bourbon Zeppelin.
All right. You're going to have it. You're going to have plenty.
Okay.
I promise.
You never know where KK's going to pop in, so local
KK
distillers,
Poppins.
I'd be on the lookout.
You never know. All distillers are on warning right now.
If you treat me like, a regular tourist, then welcome to the Bourbon Zeppelin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. This could get ugly.
Kind of a big deal,
folks. Like a cage match.
KK cast strength.
Yeah.
Just don't cross her.
Yeah. Don't come
She has
for her.
an 8% popularity. What was it? 8%?
Yeah, I think I gave you 8% because you gave me 8%, and I wanted to be equal.
No. I think I really deserved 8%.
No, you didn't.
Your bourbon power ranking.
Yes.
No, you deserved way more. You still do, but
8% you were coming in.
No.
Where's Luke Otero? He gave everybody 100.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Any show judge you with Luke on the panel judging you.
I saw him on Instagram today, and his hair is still just glorious.
Oh yeah,
That's stunning.
That head of hair he's got.
Glorious.
It is quite the mane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's something. Yeah. He's a listener. He's hearing this. He's just proud. He's just smiling right
He
now.
should be proud.
He's in his car driving around smiling, and he's got there, and he's probably just checking the hair in the mirror, and it's of course perfect. He doesn't need to. It's perfect.
Hasn't moved. It's perfect.
He wakes up and it's perfect.
Yeah. What he's got going too is it's long enough where it's a little sloppy, but it's like almost calculated sloppy.
It is.
It's good. That's what I always
He never
want.
looks disheveled. You know, like how I like long hair. I like long hair on guys too. Sometimes I look disheveled. He never looks disheveled.
That's what I want.
It's
I want it to be a little askew, like I've been busy working, but not so much.
It looks good. It's never like he
I
never
need to
looks
start
like
just with a head of hair, and then once I get the hair, then I can start working on what that looks like.
Exactly.
Would you guys say anything if I started wearing a toupee? Would it be?
Oh,
yes.
That's real nice attitude.
Yes.
I come on this show. I'm not wearing a hat or anything, and it's just I've got this
would
beautiful
you please?
golden locks.
I would say something nice, Steve. You didn't ask what I would say. You asked, would I say something? I would say something.
I would think.
Well, you're his
This is
employee. So could you
There-
please come to the ABV Barrel Shop one day wearing a toupee? No, Tim Swyatt, you have some glorious hair too.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not forgetting about you.
Yeah.
Tim
Oh, I tell him
It's
that.
not glorious right now.
Wyatt knows that. I tell him that. He's wearing a hat. So we,
I
yeah.
can't
you're
picture
looking
Steve
him.
without a hat though. Like
Oh,
Steve's always been a hat guy in my life. I always see
Yeah.
Steve with a hat.
Yeah.
And I think when you meet somebody with a hat, seeing them without a hat for the first time is jarring, no matter
Right.
what their hair situation is. I
Yeah.
can't. I don't like it,
recognize
Steve.
Top Ken when he doesn't wear a hat.
Yeah.
That guy
Well,
is.
The only way I'll accept you wearing long blonde locks is if you dress up like the bass player from ABBA with the whole single jumpsuit, bell bottoms, the whole thing.
But
It's the only way I could accept it.
You weren't a blonde when
There's-
you had hair.
there's people when I was a little kid, yes. Or maybe I'm reverting backwards like Benjamin Button. There's people that have toupees that have big social networks. How does that work out for them? No one's saying anything to them. They seem to be good people.
If you wanted to put on a toupee, a long or wig, and put your hat on top, I am here for it.
I'm not. Once I get the toupee, I'm just going to be like, oh.
Here's what we're gonna do.
I gotta have the hat. I can't.
And then I'll be, of course, I'll lie. I'll be like, oh, it's just started growing again. I have worn the hat so much I forgot to
gonna
look at
ask
it.
No, hold on. I have a plan. We're going to ask Darren as a employee to not even that short. You're going to contribute some of your long, glorious locks
Yeah.
to
12 inches.
Steve, and you're going to scotch tape them to the
To my
top
head?
of his head.
That'll be
No, we
good.
got to duct tape
Yes.
it. We got to make it stay. It's got to be permanent.
Gorilla glue,
Right.
something will
Yeah.
work.
We
Wig
got
glue,
Gorilla Glue
wig
at the
glue
shop,
exists.
so
I
we're
can
good.
send you some. Do you need some wig glue? I will bring it with me.
Well, that's true.
Fine, we'll make this work.
We're going to give Steve hair.
Well, there
Yeah,
you go. That'll
I'm
be
making
nice.
notes. Get Steve.
Man,
Here.
and nobody can make fun of me. They got to be like, oh, well, it looks
No,
good.
I'm making fun.
No,
No, only behind my back. I mean, no.
no.
Will
then
Jim
tell-
make
if I
fun
don't-
of you?
Kathy's coming at you, Steve.
Of
That's
course.
what I think.
yeah.
So
You want to know you look ridiculous.
No, I want everybody to tell me I look good to my face, and then behind my back they can do whatever they have to do. But
no.
feel
All
free.
right, I'm
if
making more notes.
I mean,
Only
I-
behind his back.
yeah, I'm good to all you folks, but that's fine. If you feel good making fun of me behind my back, that's okay. Well, I stand up for my friends when people rip on them behind their back. Even so much, I've ended friendships, and this is true. And Becca can attest. I ended a pretty long-term friendship because someone was making fun of her. I didn't like that. Well, so I stopped talking to that person.
Who I will stop talking to that person.
Yeah, I
if
was
he
gonna say,
doesn't like
I
Becca
will
Make fun
too.
of Becca. That's not fair.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
So
she can
apparently,
fight for herself, but I'll stand behind her and
Well,
cheer her on.
That's the problem. This person was talking bad about her behind her back, and I was like, I don't like that.
What
Don't
can
talk
you
to me
say
about
wrong
that.
about
Be
her?
good people.
Don't talk to me about that shit. I don't like us. And he was like, well, it's
Be
true.
good
And I'm
people.
like, no, I don't give a fuck. She's my friend. Yeah.
This is
right.
disturbing.
Yeah.
I need to fight somebody. Will you off the air tell me who it is so that I can fight?
I think you know the person. I think. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, off the air, tell me who they are, and I'll fight them.
Say it on a later episode.
It's Jim Fosnot.
Oh my gosh! I can totally take him.
with us.
Oh, does that go out on the air? I don't know now. It was not Jim. It was not Jim.
But he'll use a
Obviously.
firearm against me, and I just want to like box with my fists.
Right. Oh, there you go. I'm sure he would.
Boxing bear.
Boxing bear. All right. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. We're going to start with you, Darren. Darren, where can people find you?
Here I'm at the Bourbon Adventures.
All right. Kathy.
You can find me on Instagram. I am KKCastStrength, which means I will box your ass.
An emphasis on the. What about Lenny? Would you be afraid of Lenny because he can beat any distillery?
Here's what I know. I have been told that Demetrius Kane's wife can beat Lenny.
Okay.
Oh.
I think
Well,
most
I'm
people
just going to
actually.
send her in a proxy.
Most people can actually beat Lenny. Just bring a sandwich in
No,
and throw
Lenny
it.
won't eat a sandwich.
He's a weak little
a
vegan.
sandwich
He's not going to be able to stop.
Lenny won't eat a
Show him a gluten.
sandwich.
That's why he'll be running from it. He'll be terrified. Oh, that'd be the noise.
There
you
goes
hear.
your sandwich. I'm too good for that.
Yeah, he thinks it's so lowbrow. Like is there anything in Lenny's life that makes you think of highbrow? No. Is it the shitty flannel shirts he wears? No. Is it the little Subaru he drives? No. I mean, what in Lenny's life makes you think he's living highbrow?
The
Nothing.
fact that he grates his own cheese.
It's Velveeta. But
The fact that he hand pummels his own grain and mills his own grain by hand. It's like,
He's
wow.
gonna be so pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Just show him a fish that's not in a can and he'll run away.
Yeah, it's good fun. He needs to hear this. He needs to hear it. All right, Darren, how about you? Where can people find you?
Did that.
You find him again at
Well, we're starting the
Instagram,
segment. Oh,
the
maybe I'm
Bourbon
going to edit
Adventures.
that previous one out. No, I won't. Go ahead, Kathy.
Won't.
You can find me at KKCastStrength, boxing, Lenny's, and people who
I
hate
lost track of
boxing.
where we're at. I'm sorry. I'm
It's
55 years old. This shit's going to happen more and more, folks, and we're all going to have to
hurt.
deal with it, including me. We just got to roll with it.
I couldn't.
he wants under a rug and we're all making fun of him.
I'm going to just keep telling people to find me at KKCastStrength, and then we're going to end the show.
Okay. And first of all, you made fun of my toupee, and then you made fun of the fact I got lost in the show. This is a friend. This is a friend I got to deal with. All right, Tim, where can people find you?
If it wasn't making fun of Steve in his face and it was behind his back, I would be unfriending most of the people at SwyGuy2112 on Instagram.
Fair enough. McNew.
You can find me encouraging Steve to always wear hats and on Instagram at McNew.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. The ABV Barrel Shop. Now you not only got me and Jim, you got Darren's going to be there, the whole thing going on. So check us out. Arnold, Missouri, ABV Barrel Shop, a St. Louis suburb. We'd love to see you. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, Or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's Birthday Barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.